Okay, let's talk a little bit about some of the basic components of the paragraph chart, and I'm looking at the second sample, and this is also a paragraph located in CEA. But let's go through the components of the chart here. In this column, you're putting, for each sentence of the paragraph, this paragraph has 9 sentences. Each sentence goes in a box. So this is obviously the topic sentence. So that's fairly easy. Nothing goes in these boxes. That's why I have X's here. This first box has to do with the topic string, and the topic string is a particular location in the sentence, and that location is to the left of the midpoint of each sentence. So I'm interested in looking at all these. I've underlined the topic string here, and that's what I just duplicated in this column. So these are the first 5 to 6 words of each sentence that go in this location. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to make sure that, okay, the topic sentence, the key ideas are safeguards, need, servant, and restore. When you look at the topic string, there should be synonyms and exact words that connect to that. So we've got gentle, which is sort of servant, shield, which is to safeguard. So you can see by just looking at this area in the sentences that there's some coherence created. There's a little bit more discussion on page 57 of CA of this concept. But again, protectively, you can just look down this column and see that coherence is created because within the topic string area, you're creating links to the key ideas right here in the topic sentence. Okay, let's clear up some of this mess and go to the next column. Okay, so we've got word glue and logic glue. Excuse me. Word glue are the actual words that appear between the sentences. So, for instance, you have safeguards and guards. So, for instance, you have guards, and that is linked to safeguards here. So that's the entry that you place in that box between 2 and 3. And there could be more than one, but I just listed sort of one. Then in this next box, you have Joe, and we have the pronoun he, so that helps glue those sentences together. And again, guards and shield, which is a synonym. So that's what I also put in that box. So word glue are the actual words that you're putting in between sentences, and you're listing them in this column. Now, logic glue is a little tricky. Look on page 59. This is the implied relationship between the two sentences. So, for instance, the word and is not between sentences 2 and 3 or 3 and 4, but they represent the logic of continuing the same idea with new facts. So that you're going to select from one of the 7 logic words. There are 7 words that reflect the logical relationships between sentences that go in this column. Okay. The last column is also kind of tricky, but it reflects the words that you place in the paragraph that indicate how you're organizing. So, for instance, we place these words here in the opening kitchen scene. They appear right in that sentence. That's because we're going to organize by time and place. So, all of these 3 sentences occur in the opening kitchen scene. That's why there's no entry here, because we're not moving on to a different location. The third category that you can organize by is idea and the preceding paragraph in the paragraph chart. Excel file gives an example of organizing by idea. But the trick is that you want to place actual words in the beginning of your sentence that indicates, okay, I'm going to go, this is how I'm grouping all of these, in a sense, this blue area together by time and place. Then you'll notice we shift. We're ready to deal with some different pieces of evidence. So we've got two sentences here that deal with a different place and a different time. And that's how these chunks of sentences are organized, and then finally in London. So the trick is make sure you have some language in your actual sentence at the beginning of that section that indicates that you are organizing by either time, place, or idea. Okay, so that should give you a good start. You want to review these sections of CA for additional questions. Okay.